Now, I don't know what pick the Oklahoma City Thunder are necessarily going to be taking this player at, but I've actually got them selecting a player who I genuinely believe they really, really need, and I feel like it is the type of player they could potentially reach on and take with their first pick that they have, which again, we presume will be a top 5 pick, especially if they do well in the lottery. And that is, of course, going to be Jalen Duren. Now, I know Jalen Duren is he's kind of being projected to go at around pick 7 to 11, but the Oklahoma City Thunder have proven that they're not shy at all to potentially draft a player a lot higher than expected. We know Giddey was supposed to go at around pick 9 to 14. And then, of course, I believe they selected him at pick number 6. And he's ended up being one of the best players in the draft. A lot of people ridiculed them for the pick when they first got him. But, of course, he has proven to be really, really good. A lot of Australian players who've come into the NBA have proven to be really, really good. And not many of them have disappointed. Again, Josh Giddey being a perfect example, averaging around 13, 8, and 7 in his first season. Really, really good numbers for them as well. Again, I don't see this as exactly being too far-fetched of a thing to say that the Oklahoma City Thunder should potentially take Jalen Duren at pick 4, even though he's projected to go at like pick 7 to 11 or whatever it may be. Now, again, you might be like, well, why would they take this player a lot higher than he should? What is so special about this guy? First of all, Jalen Duren is actually being compared to what Dwight Howard was when he was in his Orlando Magic days. A really, really good interior defender that can definitely be a lob threat in the NBA. And again, I think that is exactly what the Oklahoma City Thunder need right now. They just really need some interior defense. Like, they've had 14 different centers in the last couple of years, and to have a guy I think that could finally come in and start every game and put up good defense, and then of course catch a couple of lobs from two incredible passes and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and of course Josh Giddey, I think would be a very, very good match for them. Now, again, when it comes to Jalen Duren, though, he really did rise up in the draft boards, and I do actually think there is a way that OKC could get him at 7 or 8 or whatever. But again, at the time of making this, I believe they're projected to have pick 4 and pick 12. And I just can't see Jalen Duren falling all the way to pick 12, especially considering there's going to be teams like the New York Knicks who have 11 who would probably look to, of course, select him at that pick. You've got, some other teams here and there as well that could, of course, try and take him. Again, if Portland don't want to bring back Nurkic, that could be another guy that they look at. It's gonna be really hard to see, I think, him fall down all the way to their 12th overall pick. If they manage to get him at 12, one of the biggest steals from this draft, because I guarantee you this Jalen Duren guy, I think he could be obviously the best center in this draft. Especially, besides Chet Holmgren. I mean, if Chet Holmgren plays center, he will be the best center. But again, some people are saying Chet might do whatever Mobley did and slot into a power forward type role. And again, considering the Rockets are probably going to take him, I'm not too sure who they're going to play as their main center, if it will necessarily be him or Christian Wood. But again, I've had some comments say that, why do you have Jalen Duren going at pick 4 in your mock draft like this and that? And I think a lot of people just got to understand that the NBA draft is not best available player every single year. Like, look at the last draft we just had where Scotty Barnes went at pick 4. I actually predicted that Scotty Barnes in one of my last draft videos would go at 4 to the Raptors because I thought he just fit way better than Jalen Suggs, etc. did with them, because again, I knew that their GM really wanted to bring in a long defensive type guy. But I was called stupid, and a lot of people just disagreed with me just because he was like the 7th or 8th best player projected at that time. But realistically, he ended up going at 4, and I ended up being right, and nothing really came out of it. And then that was a similar thing. Josh Giddey ended up going at pick 6, and Oklahoma were called stupid because that's not where he was projected to go. I have a similar feeling that this could happen again. I'm not 100% saying it will, but I think OKC should 100% look at it, and I think they will, and I think it could very, very well happen. And that is Jalen Duren going at pick 4 to Oklahoma, and I just really, really like the move. I think he adds a lot of what they want. If they can draft or sign a stretch 4, then you're looking at such a good team. 2 6'6" and above guards that can both play make, and then you've got Lou Dort at the 3, swapping, I guess, that him and SGA just kind of play that both wing roles. But again, Lou Dort there, who will be a really good defender for them, still a pretty good shooter in the league. Like, he's definitely become a really good 3-point shooter in more recent times. Maybe a stretch 4 to space out the floor, and then you've got that big center that can be a lob threat, and of course really, really good defensively. So I, of course, really, really like this move. Now again, I know a lot of you guys actually haven't seen my, of course, Oklahoma City Thunder draft video, so I would like to play this now because I go more in depth on why I think they should take him, and of course, you know, how I think he is really good as a player, and again, just his stats, this and that. So again, I guess without further ado, here is the Jalen Duren mock draft clip. Okay, so with the 4th overall pick, it was actually really, really tough because originally I didn't have this player who I'm selecting right now by Oklahoma, but he's kind of just come out of nowhere and has been an absolute beast recently, and that's actually Jalen Duren from Memphis, who again was a little bit lower. I think he was definitely a lottery pick, but some didn't have him as a top 10 pick not long ago. But very, very recently, he has definitely jumped up the scouting report, with people even comparing him to Dwight Howard. Again, he's a 6'10" center that has a 7'5" wingspan and has a similar body mold to kind of Dwight Howard. And again, I think people forget how good Dwight Howard was when he first, you know, started in the NBA. Like, he was definitely an MVP candidate some seasons, and even took the Magic to the finals way back when. So I think a Jalen Duren to the Oklahoma City Thunder actually makes a lot of sense. Again, I didn't think they would draft him originally because I thought they might have just gone and taken a center or something like that, you know, in free agency. I thought that just made the whole most amount of sense, but considering that doesn't look to be the case now because Durant's value has gone up so much now in the NBA, I just think it makes a whole lot of sense for them to actually take him with that 4th overall pick. And look, the Oklahoma City Thunder, what they're building is actually not necessarily like the modern NBA team where maybe there'd be like, who knows, a 7-foot center that can defend the interior, but then you have like a 6'9" power forward, 6'7" small forward, 6'4" shooting guard, and you know, it depends what team it is, but with their height with the point guard. But the Oklahoma City Thunder have a 6'8" point guard, I think 6'3" shooting guard, and then you've still got, you know, SGA at that small forward position, who's like 6'7" as well, who when he goes and plays a shooting guard, he's like a 6'7" shooting guard. They've got a lot of height with their guards and wings, but when it comes to their centers, they just don't. And I think that it's not necessarily bad. Like, they don't necessarily have to get some 7-foot center in, but I just really think that you can keep it a little bit smaller, and especially if you bring in a dude like Durant, who definitely has the capabilities to be a very good defender. Like, look at Dwight Howard, like how good of a defender he was, and he's being compared to, you know, Dwight when it comes to his body frame, his athleticism, and just some of the ways he plays. I think it would make a whole lot of sense to go for him, even though he might be a little bit of a smoky. Like, some people might not necessarily have him going at 4. He's more of a dude that'd go to like 6 to 8. They took a big reach on Gideon at 100% paid off. I wouldn't see why you wouldn't do that with Durant as well. And then you've got your future point guard, your future wing in SGA, your future center now, and there's still so much building blocks they have. Lou Dort, who knows if he'll be a future starter for this team. I think he potentially will. He's been so good for them. So yeah, there's a lot to kind of go on right now, and I do think it makes a whole lot of sense for them to, you know, take him with their 4th overall pick. But of course, I really hope you guys like that. Again, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Comment your thoughts and opinions though. Do you guys think Oklahoma should select Jalen Duren, or do you think they should maybe take a more, like, I guess, safer pick or something like that? Again, definitely let me know your thoughts and opinions on this down below. Of course, don't forget to subscribe to my gaming channel and my IRL/vlogging channel, and check out my podcast as well if you haven't already, which I will all be linking them in the description down below. But as I was saying, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel, comment in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.